Now let's move on to a video that got a lot of online attention when it was first released. This video was supposedly filmed in Sweden on February 5th, 2024, with a night vision camera. Before we dive any further, we have a few topics to consider. The footage is very clear. Even though it was recorded at night, we can clearly see all the details of the object. It's definitely not a drone, it has no helix, and it flashes absolutely no lights. Now, taking a closer look at the object, we can see a saucer-shaped object moving in a linear way across the sky. Also, it seems to be made of some sort of metal, since we can see the reflections on its surfaces. The object also seems to be silver, and it has a horizontal surface hanging from the bottom. As stated before, even though it got a lot of attention online, nobody could point out what that object could possibly be. What I mean is that if it were a known military aircraft or a drone, the UFO community would probably have already made efforts and found the actual model of the aircraft or drone, but this hasn't happened yet, as this object's origin and purpose still remain unexplained to this day. The Bronze Capsule. Moving on to the next video, its origin is uncertain as the original video was deleted from YouTube, but the best I could find is that it dates back to September 7, 2015, and it was filmed in El Escorial, Madrid. With that being said, let's focus on the stabilized footage. We can see an odd-shaped object rotating on its own axis while flying in broad daylight. This unidentified entity seems to be composed of two main sections. On one of its halves, it's tinted dark yellow. The other half seems to be covered in some sort of glass. Another noteworthy point about this entity is that at some point in the video, it seemed to blink a yellow light, which of course could be simply the reflection of the sun on the glassy surface. Years have passed since this video made its way to the internet, and yet there is still so little information about it, making this object's origin a mystery to this day. What's your opinion on this one? Could this be simply explained as a weirdly shaped balloon? The Black Triangle. For the next video in this episode, unfortunately, the original uploader hasn't provided any relevant information, such as the location or specific date on which the object was recorded. However, taking a look at what we have, a triangle-shaped object can be seen slowly hovering in the night sky. The object seems to have one small light in each of its three corners and three bigger pulsating lights in the middle. Before we move any further, something needs to be mentioned about this footage. It simply cuts before the object goes away, which can totally be seen as a red flag as the video could possibly be edited. Even though this can be the case, if we take a closer look, there is absolutely no distortion or flickering as the black triangle moves behind the window. So, if this video was actually edited, the author was really attentive to details. However, this incident is far from over. While I was taking a look at the comment section of the original video, there were some pretty intriguing comments from people claiming that they had seen similar objects. I saw it in Maryland in the early 2000s. It did not look like this with all of the circles flashing. It did have a bright white light on each corner and a flashing red light in the direct center. Then another user responded to this comment, making things even more weird. I never comment on stuff like this, but what you're describing is the exact same thing I saw in New York around the same time. Black Rock Forest in the Hudson Valley. I have never told anyone about this before, but my friends and I were camping and saw this almost above us real late at night. Since we saw lights at each point, we just assumed it was a new plane or helicopter and went back to bed. It must have been like middle school or early high school at that time. Again, I'm really commenting only because I've never heard anyone talk about this type of triangle with one big centered light and then lights on the points. These are just two examples, but going through the comments, there are way more people that witnessed this exact same object, from the United States all the way to Finland and the Netherlands. Not only do we have this video and a few witness reports from across the world, but another triangular-shaped object with three red lights was already featured in episode 8 of this channel, where it was recorded flying in the skies of Denver. Be sure to take a look at that after you finish this video. But for now, let's wrap up this case. We have a video without a date or location that was recorded and showcases an object with multiple lights beneath it. On top of that, we have countless witnesses who have seen the same object in different parts of the world. While this video could be simply a hoax, the number of witnesses who saw the same object leaves room for doubt. What's your opinion about this footage? Let me know in the comment section. But now, if you made it this far into the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to this channel. You can also support us by becoming a member by clicking on the join button below. It will help immensely. With that being said, let's jump back to where we stopped. The Magnetic Field UFO.
And when I noticed the object, I grabbed my camera immediately, and I started to videotape.
Houston, Texas, April 11th, 2008. The day started like any other for Mauricio Ruiz. However, his routine was cut short by something out of the ordinary. Around 7:20 a.m., Mr. Ruiz was taking care of his dogs. That's when he spotted something in the sky. In disbelief, Mauricio quickly grabbed his video camera and captured one of the most remarkable UFO sightings in history. As the camera rolled, a saucer-shaped object hovered in the sky, defying any conventional explanation. As the witness aimed the camera towards the object, his dog started growling at it. Struggling to find words, the only thing echoing in Mauricio's mind was to keep recording that object.
But I couldn't talk. I didn't know what to say. I was just speechless, like they say. So what came to my mind, videotape, keep the camera going. So
The object's round shape and gleaming bottom left Mauricio not only speechless, but also with an uneasy feeling. As Mauricio zoomed in with his camera, the object seemed to have a rotating top.
That's when I noticed the top part was either going around, it looked like.
Now, the most intriguing part of this sighting, as soon as the object tilted, it instantly caused interference in Mauricio's camera. The most logical explanation for what caused the interference is that the UFO's movements might be powered by a very strong magnetic field. This is basically a quick overview of what happened that day. If you want to know more details about this incident, I made a separate video with a deeper analysis of everything we know so far about it. Be sure to check it out. And there you have it. A set of mysterious UFO videos from around the internet. Each sighting brings its own set of questions, leaving us to wonder about the mysteries that linger in our skies. What are your thoughts on these encounters? Share your insights in the comments below. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies and stay vigilant.